What's up, y'all? I'm in Ontario now, and I'm seeing the use of the alternative energy. I guess the wind, converting the wind to energy, usable energy, and it just made me think we have to use alternative energy if we want to maintain our environment. If we want to stop polluting our environment, we want to maintain decent, breathable air, not pollute our water, not pollute our ground. I know those families who've made fortunes from oil don't want to give it up. I know people who are invested in oil companies, who've been bought shares. They don't want to give it up because they don't want their source of money to change. But see, this is the thing. You got to move beyond the selfishness. You see, this is about sustaining our planet. This is about making sure our life sustains. And then, of course, you will have those who come along and say, oh, there's no danger. There is no threat. Well, they are deliberately being blind because they don't want the money to stop flowing to them. So those are the selfish people, the selfish, uncaring, unloving people who are only thinking about themselves and not thinking about the others. So for those people, they will no longer count. Because if you don't care about others and you only care about yourself, then we're not going to care about you. We can only afford to care about people who care about us. And we need to survive. And for us to survive, we need to have a planet that we can survive on, and a planet that will still thrive and be alive. We need to turn to capture the sun's energy, capture the energy of the water, capture the energy of the wind. We can do it. I know there are going to be people who are like, well, we're going to lose jobs because we did this and we did that. Well, there are other jobs. And quite frankly, sustaining the planet is more important than any given job. You can go back to school and get training. They can pay for you to have training. So we can't afford to be short-sighted. I can't look at y'all because I'm driving. Can't afford to have short-sightedness. Can't afford to have selfishness. Can't afford to have greed. We're talking about survival. We're talking about being able to continue to live in an environment where we can breathe freely, drink freely, eat freely, because our resources aren't being poisoned. So yeah, Trump is wrong but see, he's invested in the oil. You know, he's invested in the old ways, the old and outdated ways of giving us energy and making money. You know, it's not easy to change. It's not. So when you got money attached to it, you know, people are gonna cling to that like it's their last breath. They're not going to want to let it go, but fortunately, I think we outnumber them. I know we do, because it ain't that many rich people. It's just a few. But for those of you who are invested in companies that invest in the use of coal and gas products, you're going to have to let that go too, because what do you want? If you had a choice to live, to have this earth, I'm just hypothetically speaking, to get as much money as you want for the next 10 years and live well 10 years, knowing that on that 11th year it was going to be all over, you were going to be suffering and living in a polluted environment and everything, would you still choose to have that money? Yes, a lot of you would, unfortunately. Because you don't know better. You don't have the maturity or the spiritual advancement to know better. So for those of us out there who do know better, you have to stand up, you have to speak out. You can't remain silent anymore. Unless you're okay with our planet being destroyed. We already see that we have climate change. Where we used to have winters, it's hardly winter anymore. Places are flooding. People are losing their homes. Why? Because from all this gas, oil burning from cars and stuff, it's warming up our environment. So we don't have winters like we used to have them. So it's up to each of us. So I ask you all to stop being short-sighted. Stop being selfish. Stop being greedy. Think about the other people. Think about our earth. If we didn't have our earth, we couldn't survive. Our earth has been so polluted, dumped on, abused, mistreated, misused. It's amazing that our earth is still sustaining us. But we got to do better, you guys. All of us. I don't know how many years it's been now, but I would say 10 years now. 10 years ago, I made a commitment that I would not pollute anymore. That meant I would not throw trash out my car window. I would not throw trash onto the ground. If I ever had some trash and it fell onto the ground, I always picked it up and found a trash basket. I've been doing that for 10 plus years straight. Whatever I've dropped on the floor, on the ground, outside, it don't matter. I picked it up because I made a commitment to myself and to Mother Earth to take care of her and not pollute her. I'm responsible for my actions, so I do my part. You have to make the same commitment. You don't do better because you don't know better. And sometimes you know better, but you don't have the pre-qualifications in order to do better. What do I mean? For example, there are a lot of people know that smoking kills you. Smoking gives you cancer. They know this, but they smoke anyway, every day, several packs a day. Even though they know that that cigarette smoke is all it's going to do is kill them and take away their health, but they still do it. Why? Because they don't have the other requirements that they need to help them to not smoke. For example, some people smoke because they be nervous, and so the puffing on the smoke, getting that nicotine, calms them down. Well, they need to learn another alternative way to relax their nerves instead of using a way that kills them. You know, go buy a book, go to the library, go read about relaxation, search the internet, learn about breathing exercises, learn about, you know, different ways, alternative ways, journaling to relax your mind. Start to learn how to think differently so you'll have different thoughts so you won't get so anxious. If you need to change your job, change the job. You know, do differently at the job. You know, learn assertiveness. But people are reluctant to change. They're lazy. And you don't want to change. But it costs. There's a cost to that. It's a price you pay. It's a price you pay. And with cigarette smoking, it's your health and your life. But when you blow that smoke out, other people have to inhale that. So you're causing others to have to pay the price too. So that's what I mean. Some people know what they need to do, but still don't do it because they haven't developed the tools. They haven't developed the know-how or readiness yet to do it. thing with our Mother Earth as far as choosing alternative energies. We know it's out there. We got the sun, we got the water, we got the wind. All these things do not damage the earth, but they can generate electricity for us. They can generate energy for us. But we got the people in power who don't want to do nothing unless they can make $1 off of doing it. So if they can't make $1 off of doing it, then they'll rather just do what they're still doing until they destroy the planet and can't nobody live on it. Not even their own children. Those are dangerous people because they definitely don't have enough love in their heart. They don't even love themselves enough. They don't even love themselves enough to make this change so that their life would be better and the lives of their children and their children's children would be better. I don't know, does it have to become freezing cold or scorching hot 365 days a year before people will finally be ready to make the change? But it's mainly the people who are making all the money. They want to keep making that money. They don't want to switch over. They don't want to lose it. But see, they putting money over life. They don't care. If you don't have life, money ain't gonna mean a damn thing anyway. But when we have people who don't think reasonably and don't value life enough, and you got to get rid of them. You can't have them in government. You can't have them in office. All of that stuff. You got to have people who want to first protect the planet that we depend on for life. That's the number one thing. All right. I'm just driving. I'm still in Ontario, heading to my destination. I was just looking at these windmills all over here in Ontario, and I was like, yeah, they're doing the right thing, and America really needs to invest in alternative energy because we need to protect our land. If we can't live on our land, if we can't rely on the water and the food, the soil, the air, we're gonna die anyway. It won't be nobody to use the money. People got to think. All right, God bless y'all.